Hi, I'm Michelle George, Community Relations Director at Texas Capital. At Texas Capital, we believe that the best way to serve is to listen. And by listening, we've formed really impactful strategic partners throughout our footprint in the markets that we serve. Texas Capital is committed to serving the needs of small, minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses. And we are so proud to launch this partnership with Braver Business and be a part of the Her Capital program. We're hoping that through this program that we can pull back the curtain and answer any questions you may have in how to work with banks, how to grow and scale your business, and everything in between. So step one is building your business. And the fundamentals of building your business is what I like to call name it and claim it, but not in the way you probably think. So let's talk about naming your business. The name of your business should be something that is directly linked to the product or the service that you provide. It should be something that's catchy, that captures your energy, captures what you're trying to do, what you're trying to sell. But also with naming, that name should be something that is easily searchable and sayable, and something that someone can find when they're looking for your product. So as you're capturing that essence of your brand through your name, you want to make sure that it's easy to say, easy to spell, and easy to search. So when someone is trying to find whatever product or service that you offer, that your name and your brand pops to the top of their search. So let's talk about what that means. Whenever you name your business and you want to make it searchable, your first step with that is claiming it. Claim it online. So make sure that no other business has the same name that you're trying to use. Because the problem you're going to run into is someone tries to search the name of your business, they may come upon the other business who may or may not be your competitor, and then their business goes to them. We want to prevent that from happening at the get-go. So make sure that you're looking at sites, doing some research around the name of your business and different iterations of that name as well. Then your next step is to find the domain name. The minute you decide the name of your business, go and claim that domain name. So that is yourbusiness.com. After you've claimed your brand, then you're going to want to make sure it's searchable. So you want your name, your brand, your logo to be at the top of search results anytime somebody is looking for whatever it is you're trying to sell. So that goes to your Google AdWords, your social media optimization. There's a lot of things you can do with digital marketing to make sure that you have top billing on search results. Anytime you're buried under content, folks are going to have a hard time finding you. So you want to make sure to elevate your brand to the top. Sometimes that's through paid ways and sometimes it's not. Another good way is that social media word of mouth. Now, every brand is doing that these days, and so it's important to really find your niche, to find the way that you communicate with your audience to then make a sale. But then let's talk about branding a little bit. It seems like a lot of brands are so focused on their actual brand that they skip over the important part, which is the sales. So branding is just a small piece in the overall puzzle that is sales and marketing. So as you're getting your brand out there in the public, in the digital space, and everywhere else, you want to make sure that you are producing leads. Every interaction somebody has with your brand, especially early on, needs to be a lead generating activity. And then it's important to have a system of follow through to convert that lead to a sale. So you probably already know this because you've been doing this for a little while, but just helpful reminders. You need to have a CRM, some kind of tool or mechanism where you are managing the life cycle of that relationship with your clients and prospective clients. So CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management Tool. That could be a variety of things at a variety of price points. But what that does is help you stay in the communication loop until the sale and then even after the sale. So again, every activity that you do online needs to lead to a lead generation and then closing a sale. A lot of the pitfalls that small business owners end up falling into are they don't have a good way to track that life cycle. And so things fall through the cracks with communication. A great way to kill your brand early on is to not follow up on communication. And then you start getting bad reviews that are on all the different social media sites and Google and everywhere else of, oh, I waited weeks and weeks to finally get in touch with this person. That's the best way to kill your business. So you want to make sure that you bake in that marketing and sales generation tool early on in your business. Yes, you have to focus on branding, but branding as a piece of that whole puzzle of sales. If it doesn't make you money, it's not worth your energy. But then what happens after the sale? So the follow-up is just as important as the lead-up, I think, because that's important feedback for the next sale and really building your business. With every sale you make, especially early on, I would highly recommend asking that customer for their feedback so that you can continue to adapt and evolve and be the very best that you can be. And not necessarily through public-facing reviews, although there's a lot of value in getting positive reviews. Getting that one-on-one feedback is going to be really tantamount to being able to shape your product, your service, your communication flow, really everything to be able to capture more sales. So in my line of business, we like to say feedback is a gift and every day is Christmas. Another great way to market your business is through networking. And I know you've heard this before, but I cannot reiterate it strongly enough that face-to-face interaction is so important, just building those relationships. So there's a lot of professional organizations that you could be a part of. There's chambers, highly recommend that you join a chamber and start attending their events. Those are great opportunities to meet people, and you just never know where that's going to take you either. You can meet somebody and build a business partnership with them that takes your business in ways that you probably wouldn't have imagined otherwise. That's really where the magic happens. So I do want to give a kudos to those of you who are already getting out in the community, giving your business cards and making introductions. That really means something to people, making new connections and networking, and you never know where those connections are going to lead. And so if you feel like that is not your strength, link arms with someone else in this cohort or someone that you trust and start to build that muscle, because that is going to set you apart from others in your field. Let's talk about being bankable. So that is a hot buzzword right now. And from our side at the bank, we are hearing a lot of frustration from small business owners that they don't really know why they're getting declined for a business loan, or they get a form letter in the mail and it's why? What could I have done differently? What's the source of this? Give me feedback. And you don't really get it from banks. And so at Texas Capital, we're trying to really pull back the curtain on that why and provide those tools and resources to you as a small business owner as to how you can get to the next step in growing and scaling your business. Being bankable really means that you've got all your paperwork in order, from your profit and loss statement, your P&L, you'll hear a lot about that, your sales, your business plan, your tax returns, and your credit score. There are a variety of ways to get there to the point that we would say you are bankable. Because of bank regulatory requirements, they have limitations on what they can actually do. And so it's not a good use of your time to send the same kind of application packet to one bank, to another, to another, to another, because you might be getting the declination for the same reason across the board. The question there is why? And so we are really trying to help you as a small business owner to figure out that why and to connect the dots to become bankable. It's important as you're preparing yourself for that loan application to start to build that relationship, not with the bank, but the banker. So I'm talking about a human-to-human interaction where you share with your banker your goals, your challenges, and all the things that really make up you and your business. And that banker can help coach you and give you feedback to get you ready. Because at the end of the day, that banker is going to be submitting that loan application to a credit review committee, and they are going to ask all those questions. And so we want for your banker to be your advocate in the room, that they know the answer to all those questions and they can speak to who you are, who your business is, and why that bank should take on this loan. If you find that you're not there yet, Texas Capital has a network of CDFI partners that we can direct you to. CDFI stands for Community Development Financial Institution. These are smaller financial institutions. Many of them are nonprofits, but they give smaller loans with flexible credit requirements to help you get to that next step. They can also provide you technical training to help you get that paperwork in order. Because we know that if you're opening up a flower shop, you're probably an expert at designing floral arrangements, but not at putting together a P&L. And so those resources and that training can help up your skill level as a business owner. So then whenever you're ready, you truly are bankable. You've heard it said, you are what you eat. But I would say in this context, you are what you sell. So you are your business, especially in those early days of your business. But the real implications of that in the real world is your credit score. Banks are always going to look at your credit score and really just to see, can you repay back a loan? That's going to be the first thing that they look at. And so it's going to be so important for you to make sure that your personal credit is clean, that your debt to income ratio is good, and that you don't have anything outstanding that's hitting your credit. So I highly, highly encourage you to resolve any of those credit issues early on. It's not comfortable, but it's going to be crucial for you to continue to grow that business and be ready to be bankable.